Hello and welcome to Girl Scouts Heart of Michigan's tutorial on how to host a virtual troop meeting using Zoom. We have gathered some key things you need to know and put a few videos together to teach you the basics to hosting a meeting for your troop through Zoom. Before we get started, if you have not watched our virtual troop meeting best practices video, we highly recommend it. In that video, we share information about how to prepare for a virtual troop meeting and a few tips and tricks to help you be a successful host. Now, let's get started with Zoom. Here are a few things you need to know about Zoom before you get started. These will help you evaluate if Zoom is the right fit for you and the troop. Zoom has several paid membership levels. However, their Zoom Basic is free. Paid memberships may have additional features, but we will only be covering the features of the free version. Zoom Basic allows you to host a meeting with up to 100 participants. Meetings with more than 3 participants are limited to a 40-minute meeting. However, shortly before the time runs out, the girls can log out of the meeting and log back in to restart the time. In order for anyone to schedule, host, or participate in a Zoom meeting, the Zoom software will need to be installed first. If using a desktop or laptop computer, you can install the software right from the Zoom website. If using a mobile device, the Zoom app can be downloaded from the corresponding app store. Whomever will be hosting the meeting for the girls will also need to sign up for Zoom. Zoom Basics free features include video conferencing, screen sharing, join in by telephone call, meeting recording, private and group chat, whiteboarding, and a password-protected meeting space. We have gathered the necessary instructional videos recorded by Zoom to teach you how to host a meeting. The videos will teach you how to sign up for Zoom and download the necessary software, how to join in a meeting, how to schedule a meeting, about Zoom's meeting controls, and sharing your screen.
Hi everyone, it's Farah from Zoom. We've had a lot of requests lately to have a quick 101 starter guide on how to get started with Zoom. So I'm going to share with you today how you can sign up for your account and how you can very easily download our software. After that, I'll have a series of videos teaching you how to schedule meetings in either Outlook or Gmail, as well as how to manage participants once you're running a session. Look out for some advanced sessions coming up in the future as well. Thanks for joining. First thing we want to review today is how you can sign up for your account. You can do this very easily by heading over to zoom.us. This is our homepage, and you'll see in the upper right-hand corner that you have the ability to sign up for an account in the corner. It is completely free, and you'll just want to enter your email address in here. You can do this with your work email or a personal email address as well. Once you sign up, you will receive an email from Zoom that will allow you to finish registration, and then you can go to sign in. It's that easy. The second thing that you'll want to do is head over to our downloads page, which you can find by heading over to zoom.us/download. And you can also reach that spot by heading to the bottom of the page. You'll see a gallery where you can click download. In our download center, you will want to download our software, which is the Zoom client for meetings, as well as our add-in or plugin for Microsoft. The add-in will allow you to connect with 365, and the plugin will allow you to connect with legacy versions of Microsoft, 2016, I believe, in 2013. And then we also have the Zoom extension for browsers. If you're on Chrome or Firefox, you will want to download those as well. I'll go over our Zoom on your mobile phone in a future session as well. Go ahead and click one of the download buttons to get started. Once you have those up and running, you can sign into your extension on your browser. You can sign into your Outlook add-in, and you can also sign into the desktop client to stay live within Zoom. Follow up with my next video to see how you can schedule these meetings easily. Thanks so much for joining.
Today we will be going over how to join a Zoom meeting. We've got a couple options, but we'll go through the first one via email invitation. Once you receive an email invitation for a Zoom meeting, you can quickly view the join link from the invitation. You can click this invitation and you will be prompted to either download or launch Zoom. If you see this message waiting for a host to start this meeting, that means the host has not started the meeting on their side yet, and you can go through while you're waiting on them, test your computer audio, select your input levels, select your video, and go through and select your virtual backgrounds. Your second option is to directly join Zoom meetings from the Zoom application. You can view all your upcoming meetings under the Meetings tab and quickly select Join. If you have any questions on joining a meeting, please contact us at zoom.us. Thank you.
Scheduling a meeting from the Zoom web portal is quick and easy. From the Meetings tab, click the Schedule a New Meeting button. You're able to change the topic of that meeting, in addition to the date, the time, and the duration of that meeting. If it needs to occur frequently, you're able to set this as a recurring meeting and change how often it will occur. You're also able to change settings like generating a unique one-time 9-digit meeting ID or using your personal meeting ID. You're able to require a meeting password and change the video default settings for both the host and the participant in your meeting. You're also able to go further and enable Join Before Host, muting participants upon entry, and the waiting room feature. Once you've scheduled the meeting, you're able to add it to your Google, Outlook, or Yahoo calendar, or scroll down and copy the invitation so that you can paste it and share it with anyone that will need to join your session.
Hi everyone, this is Farah from Zoom, and we are back to share with you some of the fundamental in-meeting controls once you launch your first Zoom meeting. So in order to walk you through, I will share my entire screen. We'll go through some of the options together. You should be able to see my desktop at this point, so you can see the Zoom meeting that's in here. Basic controls, you'll see muting and unmuting capability on the lower left-hand corner. If I were to click the mute button and try to speak, we will get a pop-up to alert you that you are muted, and this is what it'll look like. We can also use the up arrow here to select a different headset. So if you join a meeting and you're not hearing anything, you might want to double check and make sure that your AirPods or your headset is connected and configured in here. If it's not, you can click audio settings to get to an audio dashboard to help configure and test your equipment. You'll see the start and stop video option. So if you're a little nervous to start meeting over Zoom with your video on, you can simply click the video off button to show a profile picture if you've created one. Otherwise, I always recommend having video on so you can make eye contact with your audience. Communication is 70% body language. So being able to see all of your coworkers, counterparts, or people that you're working externally allows you to anticipate when someone might need to pause you to ask a question. You'll also be able to see if people are following along with what you're teaching them or speaking about. Same thing here, up arrow will allow you to select any camera equipment. Of course, the FaceTime video camera is built into my MacBook, so you can use that, or if you have an external camera, you can plug that in and Zoom will recognize it. Moving on, we have the ability for you to invite participants on the fly. Right now, there's nobody actually in this meeting with me, but if I wanted to invite one of my teammates, I could click this button and it would pop open a list of anyone that I am already connected to via Zoom. And it's as easy as selecting multiple participants. You'll see in this list here, it's going to show me the last 15 to 20 people I worked with before it goes into an alphabetical list. I can click multiple people and click the invite button in one shot, or I can copy the URL, which is the link to the meeting, and paste that into a group chat that we have going. You'll see across the top as well, you'll always have an option to email. If you're on our free version of Zoom, you probably won't see room systems, Zoom rooms, or phone, but you will always be able to send an email invitation out through your default email, whether it's Outlook or Gmail. You'll also see a manage participants at the bottom. So right now, this is letting us know that only one person is connected to our meeting. If I click the button, it allows me to expand to see a list of everybody that has joined. I will always be at the top of this list if I am the host, and then everybody else will show up alphabetically in this list. Folks that unmute themselves will also bubble up to the top in case I need to hover over them and click mute. When you hover over people in the meeting, you'll always have a mute option and a drop down that will give you a few additional action items. So you can mute them, you can give them host permissions, you can remove them from the meeting if they're not supposed to be there. You'll see on the bottom, I've enabled a feature that's called non-verbal feedback. We will have a follow-up video showing you how you can enable some of these advanced settings if you'd like to use them, so stay tuned for that. But this would allow my audience to say yes or no, go faster, go slower, or even raise their hand or give an applause while we're in a meeting, so we can be interactive. I love the coffee cup. If anybody in your audience selects this, that'll show up right next to your name in this participants list. And one other thing I want to point out here is the mute all button. This is sort of our emergency red button. So if you are getting any sort of background noise or audio feedback while you're in a meeting, you can always quickly hit the mute all button to just stop it while you can identify where the background noise is coming from. The more drop down here will give you a couple additional options, things like locking the meeting for security or hearing enter and exit chimes. So I will always know when somebody joins as the host because I can hear a doorbell. We'll move on to our shared content button. This is something that you'll notice everyone in your Zoom meeting has. I love this feature so much because it gives anyone the ability to share content, not just the host. By clicking the green button, I will also get a pop-up asking me what I would like to share before I share it, so you never have to worry about sharing your messy desktop. Clicking this button, you'll see the pop-up on my screen here. I can select a specific desktop. For example, you can see my cluttered desktop over here. I will not share with you, but I can choose a clean desktop. I can choose a specific application, like just a web browser or just a PowerPoint presentation. And of course, if you want to share a video on YouTube, you'll want to select that button and make sure you're clicking share computer sound and optimizing the video clip for your audience before you hit the blue share button, and then that will go live for everyone on the other end. I'll go ahead and hit the stop share button now to show you 2 or 3 features that can piggyback off of this. Let me go back to my main desktop. Once we are in shared mode, you'll notice an annotation tool. If you're the host, this bar will show up at the top with a pen tool. If you're a participant, you'll see at the top, it should say whoever the host is sharing. There should be a little drop down that says more options. If you click more options, that will bring you to your pen tool. If you don't see this for whatever reason on your screen when you are live in a meeting, you may need to hit the escape button because you might be in full screen mode. But with annotation, it'll expand into a toolkit that I can use to use a spotlight tool. I can also use it to draw shapes on my screen, and also I can just freeform anything as well. So I can say hello from Denver and draw that on here as well. So this is something that anyone in your audience, not just the host, can be annotating live while you're sharing content. So if you have questions, you can circle and say, what kind of plant is this? And I'll be able to answer that question for you. The host will also be able to clear the drawing, and the host can also use their more options to basically disable annotation for guests when they're in the meeting. You'll see disable attendee annotation. You can also see who's drawing on your screen, which is a pretty cool feature. Now, if you want to restrict others in the audience from sharing their content and make it host only, you can simply leverage the up arrow, which is right here at the bottom of my screen. You'll see this up arrow lets me go into advanced sharing, and this pop-up will allow me to make it a host only share. So this will restrict users from sharing anything out of turn that might be distracting. I'm going to go ahead and put this back onto all participants while we move to the next feature, which is in meeting chat. So if you're in a meeting and you want to chat with everyone, you can click this chat button here. You'll get a little pop-out window, and I can say hello to the audience. I can post a link to zoom.us or even to our support page. And if I want to, if there were other folks joining in this meeting, where it says everyone would be a drop down where I could simply select one other person to privately chat with. Love this feature a lot. Highly recommend testing it before you go into a live meeting, testing it with your friends or colleagues. And you'll see here that I can also merge this to my meeting window by using the triple ellipses here. And so I can have a dashboard on the right-hand side, letting me control my audience as well as chat with them at the same time. And I think the final feature that we'll review on this recording before we go into our advanced would be the ability for you to record a session. So I've already started recording, so it shows my only options are to pause the recording or stop the recording outright. Now, if I wasn't recording, I'd have a circle that would allow me to initiate the record. I'd like to note out here that only the host of the meeting has permission to record. If you are a free user, you will be able to record directly on your laptop. If you are a licensed user, you will be able to record out to the cloud, which is what I'm doing now. So this recording will come up with a link that I can share with others when it's done. Last but not least, don't forget to end the meeting. When you're done with a meeting, you'll get a pop-up allowing you to leave if you need to head out early, or end the meeting for everybody. We are always going to recommend that you make sure you end the meeting for everyone so you can go start your next meeting. Thank you again for watching this recording. I hope you learned a little bit about some of the basic controls when you start your first Zoom meeting. Let us know your feedback and stay tuned for advanced settings when you're in a meeting. Also have some recordings for reviewing Zoom on your mobile phone coming out shortly. Thanks again and happy Zooming.
In this video, you'll learn how to share content within a Zoom meeting. Simply select Share Screen at the bottom of your meeting window to get started. From here, you'll be given various options for sharing, such as sharing your full desktop or an individual application you have open on your computer. You can also access advanced sharing options and the ability to share an individual file from a specific location as well. If you're planning to share content that contains audio, such as a third-party video, be sure to select Share Computer Sound in the bottom left-hand corner to ensure that your participants can hear your computer sound as you're sharing. When you're ready, select Share on the right-hand side. Once content sharing begins, you can always stop the share to stop sharing content with others at any time. If you need to pause the share to take a momentary break or prepare other materials, this is an option as well. Or if you'd like to share a new piece of content, you can simply select New Share and select another piece of content for a seamless transition.
Thank you for joining Girl Scouts Heart of Michigan to learn about hosting a virtual troop meeting using Zoom. If you have questions or need some hands-on help, feel free to contact our help desk at 1-800-49-SCOUT and you will be connected to someone who can help you through the process. To watch more videos about Zoom, visit their YouTube playlist, How to Zoom, by going to the link below.